Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Mark Loeffler Experience. Today, and today only, we do this every month. We're going to go through all the ITSO boards. This is a general snapshot of Ontario, and for those of you who don't remember, here are the member boards. Barrie, Brantford, Guelph District, Huron-Perth, Kawartha Lakes, Kingston, London, Mississauga, Niagara, North Bay, Peterborough, Quinte, Great Bruce, Owen Sound, Simcoe, Lakelands, Oakville, Milton, Waterloo Region, Woodstock, Ingersoll, and we definitely have access to the Hamilton region in this information as well, but you can see from the map where we have data shared and where there's just other real estate boards like this big blank area here that's called Toronto. So yeah, this is the Hamilton obviously, so we have two-way data shared with that board. Anyways, I just thought I would put that out there because I always get people asking, why don't I cover this area or why don't we talk about that area? So if you're in that one of those areas, definitely, and I put it down at the below and I will do it next time. All right, so here's what's going on. This is all of those boards put together, combined right now. January, year over year, 21.9% decline, so 22%. Average sale price is down 6,000 from last month. So what's that, about 0.75%? So it's probably one of the smallest drops that we've had. Obviously, we saw a little bump in September, but it seems to be flattening out. The curve seems to be flattening. How many times have we heard that in the last couple of years? And if we go back, let's just see where we would be. We are back to 2 years ago pricing. Almost. January 2021 was 714,208 and we are 722. So we are 1 and a bit % away from the pricing we had 2 years ago. Now, and I premise this, all municipalities are going to be different. This is the average over all of those areas that they get data from. All right, so let's just go through some of the numbers overall. Obviously, we saw a spike in listings in January, but if you look, that happens every year. So December 2020, 3,000 or 4,000 listings, for 3,500 listings in 2021. Now, 2022, 3,700. So it was a pretty normal December. January 2021, 5,800. January 2022, 5,800. So we actually had more listings come up in January than obviously last year. So 20% more. So there's more people listing their homes right now. It's funny that these patterns are pretty much the same. Like little deviations, like this is March here, this is March here, and then it ramped up into summer last year because everyone was like, oh crap, fell off a cliff. I got to get off this ride before it falls even more, which obviously, if we go back and look at pricing, February, March, boom, April, boom, May, boom, June, boom, July, all kind of leveled off in August. We can see because that was the lowest point for listings for a while. Homes for sale, so we're kind of leveling off at 13,000. This isn't something we've seen for a while. We might have to go out more than 3 years on this. January, February is usually like a slower. That's 2017. January kicked up. But 12, 13,000 seems to be a pretty good range until you got into here. Like this was just look at this nonsense compared to the rest. Like, let's just go back to 2013. 24,000 listings in December. Or not listings, homes for sale. Like, this is the pattern that I expect to get back to at some point. Mind you, we're in Ontario, and I still think Ontario has a fundamental issue that they're not solving by building more houses for everybody that's moving in. There's a lot of people moving out, but there's a hell of a lot of people moving into Ontario. They need to live somewhere. They either are going to rent or they're going to buy. Or, maybe they stay with family for a bit, but at some point they're going to want to integrate into the housing market in some way. But you'll see this. Look, 300% more homes for sale. But again, Let's talk normal. This was the new normal for a bit, and then this was not normal at all. Let's talk sales. Obviously, I mean, look. Similar patterns, right? Similar patterns. We had lower sales in 2018, 2019, then boom, 2020, 2021, massive sales. 2022, obviously, sales slowed down. What will 2023 look like? Well, I mean, we haven't started out with a bang, that's for sure. We had 3,153 sales, which is a 33% decline from last January. So 1/3 of the sales. And there's more homes on the market. So that leads us to say, oh well, homes are going to sit. So 28 days, which is obviously relatively flat. Things, that's the median. Let's go to average. I like the average better. So actually 42 days on market for homes. Last time we saw anywhere close to that was December 2019, before the pandemic. So we're kind of getting back into this more normalized swing. Happened back here. I mean, in December, 66 days, 64, boom, drop in February, drop in March, all the way to June, slowly comes back up. We gain more inventory through summer and fall, and then we drop again. Funny thing, this real estate market. So we have 2.3 months of supply, which, you see how these are reverse curves, right? Like days on market, but months of supply usually lowest in December and January. People don't want to rent, people want to buy houses in December and January. They don't want to move. It's cold, lots going on. Typically if you have kids, the kids' activities and everything's going full bore. People just don't want to move at that time. They don't want to think about selling a house. They don't want people coming through their house at that time if they're going to have family, friends, that type of thing over, right? Dollar volume's down 50%, which is not surprising, but let's look at that. So dollar volume in December 2022, yes, it's down from December 2021 and December 2020. But let's look December 2019. Oh my goodness, it's up from the pre-pandemic. Let's check it out, 2.3. So it's close to the pre-pandemic levels before everything went off the rails. So, all right, now what everybody's waiting for, and everybody sitting on the edge of their seat just waiting for this, of course, is individual markets. So year over year, Hamilton is down 16.5%. So obviously they're weathering the storm better than most. And anecdotally, houses that are under $800,000 are selling quicker than things over $1 million. Mortgage rules, financing them, they're just way easier, right? And Hamilton has a lot more homes under $800,000 than, say, a Burlington or Oakville. Well, maybe not Niagara Falls, but there's a lot more homes under $800,000. As you can see, the average sale price is $685,000. And basically, since September, been relatively flat. Market is up a little, down a little, but it's been relatively flat in Hamilton over that time, which to me is a great sign. This is what I want to see. Like, if I'm flipping a house, I'm definitely looking at the Hamilton market and say, wow, it's flat. I like flipping houses in flat markets because I can generally predict my in and my out in a flat market. When it's going up 20%, I don't know what to buy it for. When it's going down 20%, I don't know what I'm going to sell it for. Therefore, it's more volatility, and the less volatility, the better it is for house flippers because you know you're in, you know you're out. Your only thing is that you got to control your construction costs. Oakville down 23%, but month over month is obviously it's pretty stable. Burlington is down a little bit, and I do have to say I did look into that just minutely, and why the bump up. or Burlington had like a 5.3 or 5.4 million dollar house sell in closed in December, and that skewed the numbers. Again, they're not big enough markets that if a massive property sells, it's not going to skew the market. And obviously Niagara Falls has bumped up a fair bit. But we're going to continue to watch these things. It was pretty flat through here, bumped up, came back down, bumped up, and interest rates seem to be leveling off. They signified this month that this may be the last one. I still think there's going to be another one in March, and I don't think they're going to drop it again until the new year, 2024. But again, time will tell, right? So Kingston, down 10%, 9%. I really think that's pretty strong in my opinion. And it's been, again, relatively flat throughout this time. Barrie, it's been a little bit more chaotic. We're just going to see let's see how many sales they have in Barrie, right? So 90, it's not bad. So that's a good representation, but it could just be that, something pricey is sold. Same in Brantford. But again, we're seeing relatively flat markets in most areas, which would obviously show us why we're relatively flat on the whole of ITSO. Now we'll go to sales. So 3,100, right? That's the metric that we're working off, 3,100 sales. Waterloo, Cambridge, they spiked up again. And come down to sales. Waterloo was 63, Cambridge 73. So, not small, but not great. So that could, again, just be one or two houses that have sold that were more money. And we're probably going to level off in those areas. But that's the whole thing. As long as we're leveling off, that's, again, my signal to get into the market. I'm not trying to time the bottom. I'm trying to buy good quality assets that I can hold for 10, 20, 30, 50 years that are going to make money in the long run. I'm looking to hit singles and doubles. How do most people get into the Hall of Fame? You hit 300, and most of those are singles and doubles. They're not home runs. So again, London actually had a pretty decent drop this month. So we'll see. I just, I like to go through these things and see what's happening. And that could be the spike there. Look, 12%, or that's a big spike in listings. They doubled their listings month over month. That's pretty big. Whereas, Kitchener went, they almost doubled too. Yeah, Waterloo City more than doubled. But, Cambridge is actually down year over year for listings. So is Kitchener. London's up. These are just interesting numbers. They don't really mean anything other than if there's more supply and less demand, prices go down. If there's less supply and more demand, prices go up. And this is what they're trying to control with the interest rates right now. And this is what they're doing with the interest rates, is trying to control the demand side. They can't control the supply. Well, they are essentially controlling the supply side in Ontario by not allowing people to build homes. So hopefully that all gets sorted out. I doubt it. I just very pessimistic about our leadership's ability to change anything. Comment down below if you think I'm wrong about their ability to change anything. I know you guys think I'm wrong on a whole bunch of stuff, like that real estate's going to crash another 50% or whatever in Ontario. If you believe that, comment down below. I'll come by your house right now. New listings are up. Supply is up. But it's good. We need supply, and I think obviously this is going to continue. You can see the trend. Supply continues to increase in March till March, and then usually dips down into June, and then really falls off through the summer because people in Canada or Ontario, they take the summer off. They don't look for real estate in the summer. It's one of my favorite times to buy, actually, because you can spot the trend, you can get in. You can do what you need to do, and then you're into another rising fall market. New listings. So, new listings are spiking across the board. I don't think we really need to go into that. Homes for sale. So this is funny, right? So when we look at Hamilton, Obviously, they're up 700% year over year, but there was nothing for sale last year. Was one of the issues, right? There was nothing for sale in January. People were dying to get in. There was so much FOMO, and people would buy literally anything and pay anything to get into it. It's funny though, like we look at Niagara Falls and Oakville, and they're kind of flatlining. They're still up year over year, because again, there's nothing there. So there's less supply coming on, and let's see sales in those areas. Let's see what's going on. And sales are kind of flatlining as well. I mean, Oakville's up a little bit month over month. So 84 sales in Oakville compared to 280 listings. So that's like 1/3 of all houses are selling. Ish. Maybe a little less. Do you guys find this stuff interesting? I love this stuff. I don't know, just go through this real quick. Obviously Peterborough, again, leveling off. Peterborough wasn't as hard hit as some of the other areas with sales prices. I mean, it is down 22% year over year, which is basically the average. Not like it went that much farther, because it went up. It was up it had one of the biggest increases out of most people. So it is retaining some of those gains. There's more homes for sale. Now's a good time to be buying. I mean, I know I'm a realtor. I'm going to tell you to buy. I'm a horrible person for giving you any advice, unsolicited advice on YouTube that you're watching. You don't need to, but I do appreciate you watching. And if you are watching and still watching, definitely smash that like button and leave a comment. Let me know you're here. Sales, right? So sales are leveling off, increasing in some areas, and we're going to see this through the spring that sales are going to increase. Little tip. Banks in Canada know that the springtime is the busiest market, so they offer the best mortgage rates at that time. They're not stupid. They're like, oh, we want to gain all the sales or gain things, so if you're going to refinance, spring's one of the better times. Just a little tip. Days on market. Let's see months of supply. Days on market really doesn't mean anything to me. If you're well priced, you're going to sell within a week to multiple offers right now. That's what we're kind of seeing. So there's still very, very little supply out there. We still need a heck of a lot more inventory to catch up on supply in these markets. We do see more in the outlying areas, Kingston, Barrie, Brantford, and Peterborough. What's coming on the market is selling, and what isn't is still sitting on the market. These, leave a comment if you find this stuff interesting. I like to nerd out on this stuff. And just overall, months of supply overall is 2.3. So we are still in a seller's market. If you're thinking of selling, now might be the time. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you made it this far, I have another offer for you guys. I am looking for partners on a couple of buildings that I own or I'm thinking about buying. So if you're interested in anything about partnering with myself or my team, definitely reach out. Hit me up on Instagram, Living the Dream 40. And yeah, catch you next time. Have a great day, everybody.